I'm trying.
Vlogging? I want to record. Hi, Marcos Vlog. Wait.
Hey guys, so yeah, I think ito yung first speaking part ng video na to. AM pre-duty is done. Usually hours namin for AM duty is 7 to 7, but because yung schedule ng IM sub-spec rotation is 7 to 5, so tatlong 7 to 5 and then 1 PM duty na 5 PM to 5 AM, 5 PM to 7 AM rather. Yeah, I'm on the third AM duty. So for the past 2 days, 7 to 5 lang ako. Yeah, today was pretty eventful. Pagdating pa lang namin, may code blue na. And then, puro tasks na after that. And then I had an SGD 2 to 4 PM. And after that, pretty chill na yung nangyari. So from 5 PM actually, nung nag-sign out na ako to 8 PM, tulog na ako. And now it's up. Anyway, yeah, tuloy na lang natin to sa bahay. Alright, see y'all. Alright, so PM duty ako tonight. And it's about 2:30. Shift starts at 5. So yeah, para may parking at walang traffic, I'm gonna leave early.
Yeah, so actually this part of the video I want to talk about something that I've been meaning to talk about, and I've been asked this a lot by clerks and also fellow interns.
My god guys, like and subscribe, Emma Tab lang on YouTube.
Hey guys, so 6:53 na. It's hour 2 of PM duty. So during PM duty, usually I just handle tasks from the duty phone. This is the intern's phone, so nurses in charge of certain patients and residents would message us.
Hey, so far so good. 9 PM pa lang. Apparently may Coco sa Rockwell Business Center. So I'm picking up my order right now. Okay, hi. So far ako dito sa quarters ngayon. Actually, I want to talk about one more thing. Check natin yung script. Okay, so how I learned and practice clinical skills. So, usually these would involve IV insertion, ABGs, NGT insertion, IFC. At 4th year, we usually get taught all of these. We call it our clinical skills program or module. There's a proper way to do everything, so as much as possible I try to do those, and whenever there are moments that I forget how to do it, I would look up articles, watch videos on how to do it just to remind myself of the process. And when it comes to clinical skills, it's one part knowing the proper steps of doing them, and another part just keep doing them from repetition. So when they do arise, I try to volunteer as much as I can, especially IV insertions. I notice that yun yung pinakamahina ko. So whenever may IV insertions or opportunity to do those, specifically sa ER, I volunteer. I ask nurses, hi, pwede ba ako yung mag-insert dyan?
sa patient. Part talaga ng learning clinical skills is failing those. I try my best not to get those failures into my head because if I do, never gonna ulit gagawin yun. So yeah, I just keep trying and trying and trying as much as I can. I always do my best, but then if I fail, I just refer. Midnight snack done. Hi guys, so it's about 6:30, so 30 minutes na lang before the end of my shift. I would say excited na ako kasi uuwi ako agad. Pero around 8 to 9, may short quiz kami for gastro, endo, rheuma, and I want to say infectious diseases. So actually galing lang akong 11th floor. Pinakolek ako ng sample for ABG. Success naman. And also pinafill up ako ng forms for high-risk chest CT. Now, I'm gonna just have to wait until 7, endorse the duty phone to the next group, and then sleep between 7 to 8, take the quiz, go home. I'm in the quarters, by the way. So finally, may free bed. Kasi kagabi wala. I mean, meron. Top bunks lahat, pero ayoko umakyat. So, yan. Hi, Toby. I know. It's been too quiet. It's been too quiet. So it's about 9 a.m. Tapos na yung quiz from 8 a.m. to 9. I had a short discussion with my cluster mates about a requirement that we have on Monday. Also scheduling discussion for the next rotation. PM duty done. I'm finally home. It's about 10:22. Anyway, so I wanted to film a portion about, how I study, because I get that question a lot, especially for my friends who are clerks right now. And I've been meaning to talk about it because I've been studying Anki for about 1,000+ days now. Is it helpful? During rounds, I can sometimes answer questions, pero yeah, I think it's pretty helpful. In the previous segment a while ago, I wanted to talk about 3 types of requirements that are expected of us during clerkship and internship. So the first one is a small group discussion. So during clerkship and even in internship, there are small group discussions and also case write-ups. Small group discussions can be paper cases or actual patients that a clerk has encountered. Usually 1 to 2 clerks are assigned to interview a patient fully. So history and physical exam kasama dyan. Thus the rest of the group would help out with assessment and plan. So in this type of requirement, madadaanan rin yung didactics, which would include epidemiology, risk factors, pathophysiology, and then also treatment, prognosis, and complications of the disease of the primary working impression. So plan kasama na dyan ang diagnostics, which would help rule in and rule out yung differential diagnosis mo, and also the management or therapeutic plan. Second type of requirement na meron sa clerkship at internship, end of rotation exam. It's pretty self-explanatory, so it's an exam you take at the end of your rotation. I think ang kasama dapat dito yung expected na alam mo from the rotation. And lastly, for ASMPH at least, may skills form, professionalism form, and also progress notes form. Skills form is a grading sheet where they evaluate how you perform a clinical skill. So that may include assisting in a surgery, doing an ABG, IV, NGT, IFC. Professionalism naman is how you treat other members of the healthcare team. So they may be the residents, fellows, consultants, nurses, medtechs, everyone. Progress notes is pretty self-explanatory. They will evaluate how you write your subjective, objective assessment and plan. So to cap off this video, I want to talk about how I tried to maximize my learning back in clerkship and how I try to maximize my learning now in internship. Just a brief overview, I think now I have a lot more time on my hands. In clerkship kasi kasama pa yung drama, which is pretty much the thesis of MBA. So internship wala na yun. So mas maraming free time in a sense na I can do pretty much whatever I want, pero mas may pressure to really prepare since next year supposedly boards na. So for both clerkship and internship, first thing I do is I always bring a tickler, a small notebook, or I type in my Apple Notes kung conference man. This is a small notebook I have. I'm pretty sure na mention ko to sa previous video ko right here. I always bring this around during rounds and conferences, any event actually. Nasa bulsa ko lang to lagi. Marami kasing high yield concepts or explanations sa mga consultants, even residents, kapag nag-rounds kayo. So kung may sabihin siya na, okay, you should remember this, I write it down. If they try to explain why we shifted a certain management, I write that down. And then hopefully at the end of the day, or maybe even at the end of the week, kung kailan talaga ako may time, I try to either type it out into a actual Apple Note, or I can also just make an Anki card out of it. Actually, itong specific example na to, tingnan ko mahanap ko pa. Ito yung comparison ng Apple Notes app versus my notebook na lang. So ito yung notebook ko. And then, ito, I'm gonna flash the Apple Notes app. The second way that I try to maximize learning is through actual patients. Usually pag OPD and ER, sobrang dami kong na-interview dyan na patients. I believe ER pa lang last week, I was able to personally interview at least 80 people. Tapos iba-iba yung assessment, yung primary work impression, yung diagnosis and stuff. When I find an interesting case or a very common case, I make a whole list. I actually have a separate list on my Things3 app called IM Review. Tapos ito yung mga personally na-interview yung patient na ito pala yung diagnosis nila. Yeah, it's a good way of compiling cases that I've seen and cases that I should read more about. Yung mga more common na hypertension, diabetes, I try to read those at the bottom of the priority list kasi sobrang common na niya. Supposedly, alam ko na dapat yun. Ililista ko lang talaga lahat and then when I get the time, I read up on it. Usually, ang ginagamit ko, Harrison's pa rin. Specifically for IM, Harrison's pa rin. Pero if wala akong time, if I just wanna breeze through it, I usually go through UpToDate or IM Plat. And lastly, one way that I try to maximize is actually through SGDs. Other than practicing history and PE skills specific for a certain rotation, yung assessment part and yung plan part are a good way to practice assessing and planning for a patient. Kasi pag assessment, yun yung parang basically clinical pearls na kailangan mo pag boards na rin, pati yung plan. So, I try to get myself involved in all the parts. If hindi man ako yung assigned sa assessment or plan, kahit ako yung history and PE part, I still try to read up on the case. Para at least kung may question and answer portion yung SGD namin, makakasagot rin naman ako. If wala namang Q&A portion, at least nagbasa pa rin ako about the case of my own patient. A good example that residents and fellows and even consultants would always tell you in internship and clerkship is, iba pa rin yung memory mo pagdating sa patient na talagang nakausap mo, ikaw nag-PE. Most of the time na pag during rounds, pag tinatanong ako, either sa Anki card ko naalala yung tinatanong or nakita ko na to before, tapos ulitin ko lang yung sinabi. So those are pretty much the things that I try to do when learning. Basically, Anki pa rin and SGDs. It's a lot of discipline and really pushing yourself to study even though you're tired at the end of the day. That pretty much ends this vlog. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I can edit and come out with more videos in the future. And if you guys have a specific question about clerkship or internship that you want me to address in a future video, just comment down below. Alright, that's pretty much it. Thanks guys. Peace.